wants to grow their following over on Instagram, but how do you actually do it? How did I go from 18,000 to over 60,000 in just a few months? In this video, I'm going to walk you through, if I were starting from scratch, the step-by-step process that I would take to grow to 10,000 in the first 30 days. My name is Michelle Gifford. I'm a brand and marketing strategist. I help you grow your business using social media, and I'm excited that you're here. So make sure you're subscribed and let's get into it. If you're like most of my clients, they are feeling stuck growing on Instagram. And it's just because they are using Instagram how they used to use it 2 or 3 years ago. But Instagram has completely changed. And if you know how it has changed and how it works, then it makes growing on Instagram so much faster. 6 months ago, I was completely frustrated. I was completely stuck. And I made these shifts, and I wish I would have known them sooner because they would help me grow faster. I made those shifts, and within 6 months, I have tripled my following. And Instagram is more fun. It takes less time for me to grow, and I'm able to reach and serve more people. It's a win-win. So if you are just starting out, whether from zero or you're ready to revive your account, let's talk about my week-by-week plan in order to grow your Instagram. Let's start with week 1. First off, we've got to determine our goal. Why are we showing up here on Instagram? What are we selling? Who do we want to be? So do you want to teach people how to bake bread? Awesome. You've got to know that. Do you want to help network marketers learn how to actually use social media to sell? Awesome. If you are a plant lover and you want to help other plant lovers love their plants better, you need to know that. But really getting clear on your goal is the foundation of any good Instagram account because it determines everything. Because that leads us to knowing your niche. Who are you specifically talking to? Who are the people that have problems that you can solve? You have to know that because then you can create content for them, and it makes it a lot easier to attract people when you're very clear on the people that you serve. This can get people really stuck, and I want to keep it as simple as possible. Think of the goal, right? You want to help plant lovers love their plants better. If that is your goal, then you know who that person is, right? They are plant lovers and they're having trouble keeping their plants alive. So you can start thinking of your plant lovers. Are they moms? Are they men? Are they people who stay at home? Are they people who go to the office? You have to think about that. What is that person? What does their life look like? And then start talking to them. That's it. Don't get too crazy about this because this is something the more you serve, the clearer you're going to get on the person that you serve. But if you get stuck in this step, then you're never going to know what you actually should be creating. Now we know our goal, we know our niche, and now we need to go set up our account for success. So we're going to go to our Instagram account and we're going to go to the place where everyone looks when they determine if they're going to follow you. And that is your bio and information at the top. So first things first, we are going to change our handle. If your handle is user 1843, that's not really going to help anyone, right? You want your handle to represent you, your goals, your business, and it's also great to add a couple keywords, things that people would be searching for. Plant loving mama, maybe that's more what it is, or Michelle loves plants. We have to make sure that our handle, that's the thing that people search up to find you, that it makes sense for you and your business. Next, we're going to go to the name, and this is right under your profile picture. If you want people to find you by your full name, then you need to have your name either in the handle, like I do, I am Michelle Gifford, or you need to have it in the name, which is the place under the profile picture. Those two places are searchable, and so you need to have your name in one of those places if you want your name to pull up your account. And then the next thing is to have a really great profile picture. What I like to do with my profile picture is have a pretty close-up picture of me that's professional but also matches my brand, and then I just have a color background that matches my brand colors. This helps me show up professionally, and also people will start to recognize who I am by my colors and by my picture. Next, we're going to move to the bio. We are going to write our bio about who we serve, how we serve them, and what we want people to do. This is not about us. Our bio is not about us, but it's about how we serve our people, because we want people, when they find us, to come to our bio, see that we add value and that we are speaking directly to them, and then they're going to stick around. Because think about it. Maybe you've been scrolling and you've seen people's reels and one comes up. What do? You click on it, go look at their bio and say, ooh, what is this person like? Do I really like them? Is this someone who can serve me? And if they do, then they follow. If they don't, and it's confusing what you do, then they probably won't follow. So we need to make sure your account is set up for success, and putting those things in your bio is key. All right, we are still on the first week and we have updated our profile, our bio, and we're ready to think about what is the content that we want to create. In your niche, you are going to think about the different topics that relate to your niche that you can talk about. If it is a plant account, then maybe you're talking about propagation. That's a thing, right? Yeah, that's a thing. You're talking about keeping your plant healthy, maybe reviving your your plant or what to do when things aren't working, and just general knowledge about plants and keeping them healthy. Okay, so those would be 4 different topics that you talk about. Think about what those 4 topics are for you. Once you have those pillar contents, you can start doing content research. Content research is so important because we are going to start creating content that is already doing well. We're going to look around, we're going to see what people are searching for, because the whole goal as you're starting out on Instagram is to help Instagram understand who you are and what kind of content you create. It's all about teaching the Instagram algorithm who you are. So let's go look at other places where content is being created and see what questions are being asked, see what content is doing well, and see what type of content is doing well. I like to go to any search engine. So you can go to Pinterest, you can just type in your niche and start seeing the type of content that comes up, whether in the search bar when you pull it up, or just look at the pins and see what content people are actually gravitating to and responding to. I like to go to YouTube. YouTube is a wonderful search engine. Cool thing about all these search engines is when you type in your search, it comes up with suggested searches. And these are really great ways for you to find the things that people are actually searching for. When you type in Google, you can scroll to the very bottom and it will bring up suggested things to search. Pay attention to these things because it's the search engine telling you what types of things people are searching for. And because Instagram is a search engine, if we can understand what people are searching for, then we can start creating content that Instagram will put in front of the people that need it. I'll go to Instagram and I'm going to search, I'm going to find other accounts like mine, competitor accounts. And of course, we're not competing, but people who are already serving your audience, look at the content that they're creating. This is probably the best place to go because you can start analyzing and seeing in real time content that is successful on Instagram. Sometimes you can go to TikTok and do some research, and I definitely would do that. But sometimes TikTok content does not translate over to Instagram content. And so it's really good to go to someone's Instagram account who is in your niche, look at the hashtags they're using, look at the types of content they're creating, look at what's doing well. Are they using trending audio? What questions are they answering? What is the format of their videos? What are they getting engagement on? All of these things you can find just by going to someone else's account. One of the tools that I like to use is called Metricool. And what they do is you can plan and schedule your content, but you can also look up your competitors' analytics and you can see where they're at and how they're growing, and you can compare their content in a really easy way. Now, I am definitely not talking about copying because copying's not cool, but you can go to their account and see what's working and then build on it, add your personality, add your perspective, and start speaking to your audience. All right, we're still on week 1. I know week 1 is a lot of the heavy lifting, but we have to do it. So once we look and we research our content, we are going to start creating a content plan. What are the topics that we actually want to talk about? What are the questions we want to answer? We are going to make a list of the next 30 days of the type of content we want to create. Next, we're going to post our 9 square. So when we start creating all of this content, we want to have a nice landing place for people to come back to. Because let's say you post a reel and people see it and they come back and it's actually the first post that you've ever posted ever. People aren't going to trust to follow you because they're like, oh, I don't know where this lady's going. And so creating that 9 square first and posting that 9 square is a really great start before we start posting consistent content. With your first 9 squares, it really doesn't matter when you post it. You can post all 9 squares at once because you probably don't have that many followers. And Instagram's not pushing out that content because it really doesn't understand who you are. Our whole goal is to teach Instagram who we are, right? And so if you can do an introduction post, talk about the people that this account is for, it can feature some of your products. You can even in Canva, have you seen it when they take one picture and they break it up into 9 squares so that they post a piece of the picture? So just post those 9 squares. If you can, have a little strategy behind it, but don't let yourself get stuck here. Okay, friend, let's give you a high five because you just got through week 1. Let's move on to week 2 where we're actually going to start creating more content and getting it out there. So we have to commit in week 2, we are going to post a reel every day. Did you hear me? Every day. And here is the reason. Reels has its own algorithm. The algorithm is specifically set up to put your content in front of people who do not follow you. The only algorithm that is really set up like that is the Reels algorithm. And so because we don't have very many followers, we need to start getting in front of people who could follow us. So to do that, we need to post more content and we need to post Reels because Reels get in front of more people who don't follow us. So we are going to commit to creating Reels every day. I know it's a little bit tricky, but if you're committed to growing, then you need to be committed to creating content. I did a YouTube video that walked you through how to create 20 Reels in 2 hours. So if you want to click here after this video, you can go watch it and it's going to walk you through step by step how to do that and make it a lot easier for you. So you're going to batch film your Reels at least for a week. People like to batch in different ways. Sometimes you like to do it for 30 days. That has been been pretty hard for me because I like the creative process, and if I'm doing it all in one day, it makes me exhausted. I like to batch create for at least a week at a time, and you're going to film a week, 2 weeks, 30 days, whatever you can in one day, and you're just going to crank them out. Now, if you're filming them on Instagram, make sure that they're not only saved in your drafts on Instagram, but that they are saved to your camera roll, because sometimes Instagram has a glitch, or maybe you have to re-log into your account and all of your drafts get deleted. I don't want that to happen to you. So make sure that you back them up. On that day, you're going to record all those videos, and then on day 2, you're going to edit, add captions, add hashtags, add the words that pop up on its own day. So now you have a batch of content that's ready to go. It takes some time up front, but it's going to feel really good. And if you can batch a little bit ahead, it makes your content creation so much easier. All right, day 3 of week 2, you are going to start posting those reels, and you are going to do it every day. Remember, we're doing it every day. Once you start posting, you're going to start establishing an engagement strategy. So remember, all of your content that you're creating, all of the time that you're spending on Instagram is teaching the algorithm who you are. So it matters who you follow. It matters who you engage with. I would start following people who are in your niche and commenting on their posts, engaging with followers in other people's feeds, because this is going to not only open the door up for people to find out who you are because you're interacting with them, but it's also going to tell the algorithm, this is the type of content I like and I create. And it's going to start connecting your account, and it's going to make it easier for you to get your content out. Now, let me tell you just a little story time. You ready? For a client, I started a new account for them just yesterday. And it was very interesting. As I created their account, I went to the explore feed, and before they had followed anyone, it was like really random content. And then I went in and I had this account follow me, and their whole explore feed changed. It started sharing my content as well as other people who are very much like me. That's how the algorithm works, is that it's trying to figure out who you are, and the only way it can figure out who you are is through what you do, right? The content you create and the things that you engage with. So as you're posting on Instagram, yes, post, but then spend time engaging and telling the algorithm exactly who you are. That's what you're going to do for week 2, and moving on to week 3. How are you doing? You doing okay? So week 3, we are going to continue that posting and engagement schedule, and now we're going to add stories. Now, stories are the thing at the top that you are able to post, and they only last 24 hours. The cool thing about stories is this is where people connect. This is where the sales happen. This is where people get to know you, and you're able to share your day-to-day life. It's going to feel scary at the beginning, and that's okay because it's a new thing for you. Don't get overwhelmed by this. Just start sharing, and the more you do, the easier and more natural. This is why it's actually a great thing to start at 0 or to start with less followers, because there's less people to see you learn how to do something. I love stories the most because it's where my people are. It's my favorite, and it doesn't have to be as niche specific because it has its own algorithm. So you can share about your dog, you can share about what you're eating, you can share about your kids, you can share about all that, and people will show up for you because they actually love that kind of stuff. Then we're moving on to week 4. We're rounding the bases, we're going home. We're going to continue posting every day. We are going to continue our engagement strategy and our stories, and this week we're going to do collaborations. You're going to find someone that serves your same audience, and you're going to create content together. You can create like a carousel post or a reel, and it posts to both of your feeds, and this is going to be great exposure, right? Because you're getting in front of their audience and they're getting in front of your audience. And then also in week 4, you are going to look at your analytics. I saved analytics to week 4 because we need to let our content grow a little bit. When Reels first came out, you would get like the bulk of your views within the first day. That's not true anymore. Instagram Reels are lasting longer, especially if you are creating Reels using trending audio. Trending audio makes your Reels last longer because those trends continue to perpetuate. If you want the trending audio for the week, then you can click the link below and sign up for my email, because I send an email out every week with the trending audio that you need to be paying attention to. And then you can use those audios when they're young and fresh and have a higher chance of getting more views because you're using those audios. Then you're going to look at your analytics, and you're going to see what's working, what's not working, what people are responding to, what ones you're getting the most comments on, which things are getting most saves and shares. All of these things are important. Now, I don't want you to get too frustrated if you have a reel that doesn't do well. Instagram is the best, and why I love it so much is because it gives us an opportunity to test things out. And just because one reel doesn't do well doesn't mean the next one isn't. So we're going to just use it as information and as a launching point for us to get better and better. Because here is the truth. If you want to be powerful on Instagram and have a powerful brand, what you need to do is you need to create compelling content. You have to commit to showing up for your audience. And this is what's going to help you stand apart from other accounts as well as ChatGPT, right? AI is coming and they know know a lot of stuff, but they are not you. They don't have your personality, they don't have your experience. And so if you really want to succeed on Instagram, you have to commit to creating content. You have to show up and adjust and get better as you go. This is the exact path that I would take and that I do take for my clients in building their Instagram account. If you want help growing your account, click below to hire my agency. Make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you next time.